Hey guys, it's Sam and this is Top 5 Wednesday. If you're new to Top 5 Wednesday, I will leave a link to the Goodreads group down below for topics and such. This week's topic is our most anticipated 2019 releases. Now, I typically do a seasonal most anticipated list and I will continue to do that. I kind of stopped doing that. It kind of fell by the wayside because I got really busy and I've kind of lost track of a lot of upcoming releases. I even had to look at my most anticipated list for Goodreads to be like, what's coming out in 2019? And then I remembered a lot of the really big things. But I will continue to do that in 2019 as things are announced because for the most part, most of the ones that I'm going to talk about are books that are released towards the beginning of the year anyway, and we don't have release dates that are concrete for a lot of books that are coming out later in the year. So this is more like a first half of 2019 anticipated list, so you're getting a sneak peek for later videos of mine. But there's more than 5 on here because I couldn't just keep it to 5. There's a lot of really good books coming out next year that I'm really excited about. So yeah, these aren't ranked. I'm just going to do them in order of which they come out, and these release dates could change. They could get pushed up, they could get pushed back. As of the recording of this video, these are current, but as you guys know with publishing, things change all the time. Also, there's a lot of other books that I'm looking forward to, excited about. These are the books that I'm like the most excited about, will most likely pre-order, have been waiting for them to come out. There's other books that like I've heard about and are probably on my list too, but like aren't on my most anticipated. Like, these are the creme de la creme. This is the top, okay? I'm not just like putting every book that sounds cool on this list. You have to earn your spot. So the first book comes out on the 8th of January, and I already have a little art copy, and it's In an Absent Dream by Shauna Maguire. This is the next book in the Wayward Children series, which is one of my favorite series. I look forward to every release of these. They're a novella series about kids and sometimes adults, depending on if it's been a while, that went through portals to fantasy worlds at one point and then came back to Earth and are kind of dealing with that, and explores those different fantasy worlds and all of these things. It explores so many things. It's so good. And this is about a girl that goes to the goblin market. So it ticks a lot of my boxes for a lot of things. The series, portal fantasies, other worlds, goblin market. I'm pumped. The next book comes out on the 15th of January. I also have an art copy of this, and that is The Gilded Wolves by Roshni Chokshi. The reason I put off my ARC sometimes is 1, because I have no time, and 2, because I don't want to read it too early and then not be able to talk about it with anyone, and then my like wait for the next book is so much longer, so I sort of put them off sometimes until like the month before they come out. I actually hope to read both of these in December. I don't know if that'll happen. But this is about a heist in 1889 Paris, and I heard about this book like years ago because Roshni told me when she was like working on it. So I've been waiting for this and I am so hype. So hype. The next book comes out on the 29th and you're not going to be surprised because I'm trash, and it is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. Duh. This is the next book in the Grishaverse, and it follows mostly Nikolai's story and what's been happening to that precious bean since the last time we saw him. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about this besides, like, of course I'm pumped. People, like, there's some books in this list that people are like, aren't you excited for this book? Do you even know me? Like, of course, there's so many books. Ooh, I'm thinking about my list right now again. I'm getting all excited, like writing my list, I was so excited. There's so many books in 2019 from authors or from series that I love so much that I am so ready for 2019 as a reading year. I do not feel I'm going to be disappointed. I hope that's the case. The next book comes out on the 5th of February, and that is Red Leopard, Black Wolf by Marlon James. And this I've been jazzed about since I heard it even being worked on, because Marlon James won a Man Booker a couple years ago, and I do not read the Man Booker list like a lot of people do, but I follow a lot of booktubers that do, so I'm very invested in it, even though I personally don't read it. It's a thing. But he's obviously a wonderful author because he's award-winning of like a really top tier achievement. And this is supposed to be a giant epic adult fantasy. It's basically African Game of Thrones. That's how people are describing it, and I'm ready. I've been ready. As soon as it was announced, I was like, this is it! This is all I want! This is all I need. Speaking of all I want and need, on the 12th of February we have Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. Oh man, have I been waiting. This is the next book in the Witchland series, Truth Witch being the first book. You guys know this is one of my other favorite series currently running, favorite worlds, all of that jazz. Aedwin is like the main character focus for this book because he is the Blood Witch, and I cannot wait. My body has been ready since Wind Witch came out. I read that as an arc, and so it's been even longer for me. I need it as soon as possible. I want to do a reread, but at the same time I don't know if my emotions can fully handle it. I need it as soon as soon as possible, because like one of my favorite current ships is in this book series too, and there's I have a lot of thoughts. I'm starting to get a little incoherent with these new releases, I apologize, but this is a book I've been waiting for so long. It seems like it's been so long. Then on February 26th, we have Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is a book that's been on my radar for years because I think the release date has gotten pushed back a few times, but this is a new series by Samantha Shannon, who wrote the Bone Season. I have not read the Bone Season because there's some things in the Bone Season that might trigger my anxiety, so I've always kind of steered clear of it, but I've heard really good things about that series. This is a new, I believe, epic fantasy series. The cover just got announced, like, not announced, but like they showed the final cover because there's like some foiling and stuff on it because the cover's been released for a while. Whoo! Whoo! And there's dragons. Like, I am real jazzed for this, and like I said, it's been like pushed back a bit, so I've been waiting for a long time. I feel like this has been on my most anticipated list for a while. I think it might have been originally slated for 2018, but it's coming, and it's right around the corner now, and I'm ready. Speaking of a book I've been waiting for, oh man. We're skipping to April 2nd, and that is Wicked Saints by Emily Duncan. Let me tell you, get comfortable, let me tell you about this book. So, I've been following Emily on Tumblr for years. Basically since after I read the Grisha trilogy, because she was a major part of the Grisha fandom on Tumblr, and I discovered her, and I loved everything about her, and then she was writing a book, and she was talking about it, and she had a tag for it, and she would post inspiration for it, and she would talk about it, and she would post like photo sets, and her friends would make art for it, and it was this book. She has multiple books that she's working on, but it was this book. So I have been ready for this book since before it was even fully a book, and I've been waiting for it. And I have never felt that I personally deserve a book until this book. This book is completely like my aesthetic, everything. Like, go and read the synopsis. It's made for me. I just want you guys to know how viscerally important this book is to me and how long I've been waiting. And I cannot wait for April to have like a physical copy in my hands of this book that I've been hearing about and thinking about for years of my life. It's gonna be dark, it's gonna be twisty, it's gonna be villain and main character dynamics. Emily gets me, and I need this. Like, I don't think this book could even disappoint me. Like, it's gonna be a big deal. I might need to sequester myself in my room as soon as I get this and like take some time off work to be able to read it in like one sitting. It's a big deal. Whew! Then 2 days later, on April 4th, we have Holy Sister by Mark Lawrence, another big deal. This is the third book in the Book of the Ancestor, that's the name of it, series, which is an adult fantasy series. I've done reviews for the first two books, Red Sister and Grey Sister. Check those out. It's my favorite series that I started this year, I'm pretty sure. I can almost say that with certainty. It's going to be towards the top of my like favorite books of the year and all that kind of stuff. It's just mind-blowing. It's magical assassin nuns, some of which are in love. It's a grimdark. It's so good, and I cannot wait for the next book in the series. Like, I was born ready. Then on May 4th, we have Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. She's the author that wrote An Enchantment of Ravens, and that was a book that didn't quite live up to the hype for me, but I also really enjoyed and kind of stuck with me. It's like a fae book, and this is another fae book that she has written, and I think this one's going to be even better. I love the covers of these. Like, the artist for the covers of these is stunning and wonderful and amazing. But I'm very excited. I've really enjoyed the fae books that I've read in recent years. You know, fae is really on the rise. It's a thing that a lot of people are really into right now, and I've really enjoyed this. So I think that I'm going to enjoy this next one, and it kind of speaks, like, if you read the synopsis, there's a lot of themes that kind of speak to me and stuff. So I will say, because some of you may have noticed, that The Wicked King is not on this list, because the first book, The Cruel Prince, did not quite live up to the hype for me, but for some reason, Enchantment of Ravens is kind of stuck with me. I'm excited for The Wicked King. I'm still going to read The Wicked King. It just didn't make this list. It's probably right below these books, honestly, for most anticipated. I'm not sure where I sit with that series yet. I'm still going to read it. I might still pre-order it. It should basically be on this list now that I've talked about it. And last, but certainly not least, probably the crown jewel of the list, as of right now, comes out November 5th of 2019, so a little less than a year away. It might get pushed back because I'm just preparing my heart for that possibility because the release date is so far. I wish it would get pushed up. I don't know if that would happen. And I don't even know if this book should be released in the not fall time. You should know what I'm talking about. It is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. moment of silence for all of my tears. I've waited for so long for her to release her next book. She's been on a Twitter hiatus for years. I have like patiently waited for her to come back to be like, is it done yet? Like, it's bad. I don't care what this book is about. This could be about the fungus that grows in the dirt and I would still read it. I am ready. It's gonna be a beautiful, sweeping fantasy story, obviously. And I have no words, obviously. I have waited for this moment. I personally consider this a gift to me from Erin, so thank you, Erin, for this gift. And I can't even really contain my excitement. Do you see, like, I'm struggling? Like, you always know when I'm, like, having a moment when I have to brace myself from the bookshelves. It's going to be a beautiful time in 2019 with all of these books that are coming out that so deeply speak to me and are written by some of my favorite authors who know my heart, know my soul, and know what I need. And 2019 is going to be a year of restoration and growth, and these books show that to me. This is basically like my astrology, predicting my future. My own personal tarot card reading is the book releases for 2019, and I would like to thank the stars for how lucky I'm going to be. So with that dramatic monologue, we have the end to my 2019 most anticipated book releases. So comment below, let me know some of yours. Let me know if you're surprised any of them are left off the list. I'm sure you're not shocked about most of these because, as I've said, these are like my favorite authors and they're new books, so like no one should be surprised. But let me know if I forgot about any or you think that maybe I don't know about some that you think I would really love. Gotta build up my 2019 most anticipated list because it's gonna be a good year for reading. It's gonna be good. I'm ready. So thank you all for watching. I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye.